My name is Frederick Nyaga, the Gender Technical Specialist for Global Communities. I'll be talking about strengthening cooperatives through family planning and parenting. Now, what is family planning? Simply put, family planning is a reproductive life plan that allows you to make goals on whether you are going to have children, when to have them, and under which conditions. This is different from child spacing, although they are connected. Child spacing, simply put, is the time in between pregnancies. Couples use different methods of contraception to space their children so as to achieve their family planning goals. And technically speaking, contraception is simply prevention of pregnancy. And this can be done using different methods: techniques, drugs, medical devices, or even behavior. Now, before we talk about contraception and family planning, it is important for us to mention 5 events that must occur for pregnancy to take place. 1, the sperm, or in a layman's language, the seed of the man must enter into the birth canal, which we also call the vagina. Number 2, the sperm must travel through the cervix into the fallopian tubes where fertilization takes place. Number 3, an egg, which technically is referred to as an ovum, must be present in the fallopian tubes within 48 hours of the introduction of the sperm. So if it comes far much earlier or far much later, it will be too late. Number 4, the sperm must fertilize the egg. Number 5, the fertilized egg must travel back into the uterus and hold itself or attach itself to the lining of the uterus, and that is what we call implantation. That is now when we can say pregnancy has started. Before then, there is no pregnancy and there is no life which has started. Why do we need to talk about family planning in cooperatives? What is the relationship? 1, we need to appreciate that we have limited resources. No cooperative, no family, no country has enough resources. And therefore it's important for us to plan for the resources. 2, our needs are unlimited. We have unlimited needs versus limited resources. And therefore we need to plan. Number 3, there are benefits associated with planned families. These benefits can be to the child, the baby who is being born. And this includes the baby will be breastfed for a long time and enough time for that matter. There are benefits to the children. There will be less competition over the resources in the family. When we have a planned family, or when you plan your family, it means your children will have enough to eat. Most likely they'll get better education. They are likely to enjoy more attention from you because your attention is not divided between many children. And not to mention that when they grow old, they are likely to share more resources from you as their parent. And therefore, there are benefits to the child and to the other children. There are also benefits to the community and the cooperatives. How? The cooperative will be able to provide enough for the members because the members will also be able to contribute enough because they have enough resources since they are not sharing their resources with very many children who they cannot afford. At the community level, there will be some balance between the resources and the people who are available in that community. And if we have this, we are even likely to save on our environment. And remember, some of our cooperatives are based on agriculture. And therefore, we will not mess up our rivers, we will not mess up our forests because of unplanned families. 3, there are benefits to to the society at large, to the country and to the government, because we shall have enough schools which are not overcrowded. We are going to have hospitals that are going to take care not just of the children but also of the adult population. There are 5 types of family planning methods. We can group them into 5 categories. The first category are what we call the natural methods. The natural method is basically where couples avoid intercourse during the time when the woman is likely to get pregnant. And there are usually 3 methods that can be used, natural methods. The first one is the calendar method, where the woman, with of course the help of the man, are able to keep the days of the menstrual cycle so as to avoid sexual intercourse during the time when the lady is likely to get pregnant. The other time is the temperature method. And this one is simple because you know that the temperature of a woman changes slightly during the time she's ovulating. And the other method is by checking the cervical mucus. The woman's body releases mucus to the birth canal almost on a daily basis because that is the way we are made. And this type of discharge will change depending on the period of the month. So by checking on the mucus, how it is, one can tell that some changes have started, then the couple avoids intercourse during that particular time. That's what we are calling natural. Then we also have another method that we call the hormonal method. This is where hormones are introduced into the woman's body so as to interfere with the processes that we mentioned. Remember, we said for pregnancy to take place, some things must happen. One, an egg must be released. And therefore, when hormones are introduced to the body, they can stop the egg from being released. And this can include an injection, or what we call injectables, or even pills, what we call oral pills, or what we call an implant, which is usually inserted under the skin to be producing hormones. The third method is the use of what we call barrier methods. Now these are methods which are grouped together and called barrier methods because they form a barrier between the egg and the seed, or technically put, they stop the sperm from meeting the ovum. And these methods could include something like foaming tablets, which are introduced into the woman's body to produce foam that immobilizes the movement of the sperm into the woman's body. The other method is the use of diaphragm. A diaphragm is something that is a gadget, small gadget that is inserted to the woman's body to ensure that the sperms don't enter into the uterus. And also, we can use what we call condoms. I think condoms are known, either male or female. Then you have what we call the intrauterine device. As the name suggests, intrauterine means it is put into the uterus, inserted medically by a professional. It also acts in different ways. One, by disturbing the environment, the uterus, to ensure that implantation does not take place. And the final method, which we call permanent methods, there are 2. The other 4 that I've mentioned are actually reversible. You can use it the way you want. It can be stopped, and a person can continue to get children. But the permanent method is a method that is used by a couple that have now decided we have had enough children because they are very difficult to reverse. And these are basically 2. One is for the men, very simple operation called vasectomy, where the vas deferens, which is a tube that carries the seed from where they are produced, what we call technically the testicles, into the urethra. So that tube, a small incision is made, the tube is cut, tied, and within that a minute the procedure is over. The other one is the tubal ligation, and as the name suggests, it is the ligation, the cutting of the tubes, the fallopian tubes. Is a bit invasive in that you have to cut, go get the tube, chop, tie, return. Again, it is harmless. There are several things that you need to consider before you decide the type of birth control to use. 1, your health and that of your family. It's important to think about it. Number 2, you need to consider the opinion of informed medical personnel who are not prejudiced. Get information from an informed medical personnel. Number 3, get facts. Many times there are many myths which are associated with family planning. Number 4, the cost of not using any method. Which one is cheaper? Getting a child that you are not planned for and you have to take care of him or her for so many years, or simply planning not to get one. And number 5, very important, consider your values and beliefs. Because we all have values and beliefs. No method works in the same way with everybody. The fact that it did not work with Anyango does not mean that it will not work with Wanjiku. If a couple wants to space their pregnancy after getting a live birth, meaning they have gotten a child and she is still alive and they want to have another baby, remember this, wait until 2 years. Other than that, it's not healthy for the baby, it's not healthy for the mother. Wait until 2 years, but not more than 5 years. In between, choose a method of your choice of family planning. Number 2, for couples that want to try a pregnancy after miscarriage, please wait until 6 months. Other than that, it will not be healthy for the baby and the mother. In between, use a method of your choice. Number 3, for young people who may opt to get pregnant, wait until the legal age. In Kenya, it is 18 years. But the preferable age of maturity is 23 years. Legally, from 18 to 23, you are an adult. But biologically, you are not mature enough to carry a pregnancy. Meanwhile, what do? Abstain from sexual intercourse. Or use a method of contraception of your choice. As we sum up, it's important to remember that it's important to have children by choice, not by chance. By so doing, we strengthen our cooperatives, we strengthen our families, we strengthen our country. Thank you very much.